Well, hey there everybody. If you couldn't tell by the first shot, I got myself some more chicks. My chickens here, I lost one a few days ago of old age. I think it was about 7 years old. And they turn into pets once they, stop laying. And right now, I'm not getting that many eggs. In fact, some of them are real small compared to the rest of them. So I got to make myself a new coop for the baby chicks. And before I go and put them in with these bad boys, or girls I should say. So I have 5 right now, and with the new babies we should be doing pretty good. That'd give me a total of 10. And as you can see, they got a lot of room in here. So I got to make myself a little cage so the chicks can turn into pullets, and the pullets can start laying some eggs. For this build, I pretty much have everything that I'm going to need. The only thing that I had to pick up from the store was bought a new roll of fencing and a couple new water bottles. So set those over there for a second. What I'm going to use is these old storage racks, and the storage racks are going to be sitting on top. The first one I have upside down, and I'm going to line this with something, more than likely either wax paper or aluminum foil, and then cut this down just high enough to where I can pull it off. And then this one here is going to sit on top. The roof's going to be able to be removed, or the top one's going to be able to be removed, so that way I can go and clean out the inside if I need to. Also, I can access the chicks this way. So let's go. I want this thing just high enough so I can stick it in, and it'll have a little gap here so that way the poop and other droppings can come down and I don't have to really worry about it too much. So as you notice, I got this one upside down. It's upside down so that way it'll have a place where the poop can collect. Also, any of the urine that might happen, or if they splash water all over the place, it'll come right down here into the base. Take this one, and set it in. Nice living area for the chicks. Let them get a little bit bigger, that way they can go and play with the bigger chicks, or the actual chickens, after they become pullets. This piece, as you can see, it's a little high, so I'll probably be trimming this down. I don't see putting it this way, but I might, so I'm going to think about that, and I'll bring it back in after I get it done. Main thing with this is make sure that you're wearing some type of gloves. Got some snips here, and no pliers in order to crank it in to tighten this thing down. So I noticed something about this particular type of storage rack that's going to help out quite a bit, and there's a little lip down here on these, and to make it a lot easier to access the chicks, I can actually snip out this thing right here and make it so I can just lift the top out real easy without any pulling, because if I pull on this too much, I was thinking about maybe having to cut out one of the sides of the holes, but because this is such an awesome style right here, I'm going to be able just to cut these out and make it so it's real easy to access the chicks. Alright, let me finish this up with a little bit of Sawzall magic. snip a couple of them at the bottom. And look at there, easy access to the chickens, and this goes right back in, nice and sturdy. Plus I got something I can still keep the sides up on, so it gives my sides a little bit more strength here. Feed, water, pet, and we put this back on. Doing good. So while I'm thinking about it, in order to make it so these pegs come in and out of the bottom a lot easier, I can just lift it off the top, I'm going to go ahead and just cut a couple holes here, or not cut holes, but cut creases in this thing. Alright, so ended up cutting a little gap here. That way this thing will just come right in and out pretty easy. Lift it right off the top of the actual cage here without any problems, so I can clean out the bottom of this thing. Let's go ahead and put it back together really quick. Well, I got hit by Murphy's Law, and this is 10 feet, and all the way around this thing is about 10 feet, and it just doesn't have enough to go on the bottom here. So the 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch I'm going to put down on the bottom. I went and bought another roll, but all they had was the 1 inch by 1/2 inch, so I'm going to have to put that on the sides because I want something for their little feet not to fall through. So Murphy's Law also picked up some more of these self-drilling screws that have a little plastic neoprene washer on it. So that'll be able to screw it in. So I'm going to go ahead and use this stuff. So I took off the top here, and now I'm going to drill or screw in one of these little screws here. And it's going wild, of course. Get a corner screwed in. There's one. So now that I got this base on here, I'm going to go ahead and trim this up using a little pair of side cutters. Alright, so I missed this one. I put it on the wrong side. So I'm going to have to pull it out, put it on the other side. Also got to trim up this other one really quick. There we go, nice and tight down here. I think the chickens are going to enjoy this. So you got to put the you got to put your little chicks in the smaller cage so they get bigger, because otherwise the bigger hens will just tear them apart. They don't like any competition. Even if you don't have any roosters around, they don't like any competition. So that's the main reason for building one of these things. You get a chick that's not born by or not raised by their own hens, they just are evil to them. Feel sorry for them. They're like, oh no, don't hurt me. All right, that looks good now. So I'm going to put this back on. Get this section to keep me from having to do a lot of trimming that's going to be tough, I'm going to flip it upside down. That way I can keep a nice good trim, factory trim on this side of it, and down on this side it'll be what I put together and what I'm cutting up. Turn that for you. So this thing should spring and scare me a little bit. Good thing I'm wearing my safety glasses. These things are shooting. So I'm going to start using gloves with this stuff. This stuff's a lot tighter and thicker than the smaller 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch that I have. Start by popping in the corners. Alright, now for the real fun part is cutting and trimming and sliding these over so I don't hurt myself on them. Probably throw in a couple extra screws in here just to tighten it all up a little bit. That way the chicks can't fall through. Alright, now that I have this done, have the cap that comes off here, sets back in. You can lift the bottom off, fairly simple. Now I just got to put in the amenities. I'm going to recommend that you put something down the bottom, whether it be bricks or a couple pieces of wood here, that you can put your water and your food on top. Remember, these chickens are going to be nuts. They're going to go crazy. They're going to go, the little chicks, they're going to go around and they're going to want to knock over their water bottle. So make sure that you put your water bottle in the corner. If you have some excess wire, wire the water bottle in. Just keeps them from having to knock stuff over. Don't need to be tight on it. Just enough to where they can't tip the water bottle, because they're going to want to climb into this thing, and they're going to be throwing your sawdust shavings all over the place. They're going to be pooping all over the place. Another piece of advice is around the sides here, put up some aluminum foil. Aluminum foil, they can't chew on it, they're not going to eat it, but it'll also keep some of the shavings from coming out and making a mess wherever you keep this thing. For the top, I have my little light here. I'm going to stick the cord through. Probably put this on a back corner about here. And now the chickens can get some extra warmth. All right. Well, we are all set. All we have to do is move the chickens in. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Happy gardening.